What's up, guys? Mike on Post Patrol, and today we're going to talk about the Parents' Bill of Rights. It's a bill that they're trying to pass that requires the school to inform the parents what's happening with their children at the schools. And apparently there are people fighting to stop this from happening. Why would anybody try to stop a parent from knowing what's happening with their kid, you might think? It doesn't make any sense. But when you find out the type of people that are actually trying to stop this bill from happening, you might not be so surprised.
You have a Parents' Bill of Rights now. This says the parent can now know what's being taught in the school. This is now saying the parents can now look at the reading material. It's now saying the parents can now see what the money is being spent on us. It's now saying that the parents can protect their kids' privacy. It now says the parents can have a notification if there's any violent activity on campus. But unfortunately, the Democrats are too extreme to believe that parents should have a say in their kids' education.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Everything that he just said seems logical and makes absolute sense. A parent whose responsibility it is to raise their child has a right to know these things. These should be natural laws of humanity. Yeah, I'm surprised that you even need a bill for this, but apparently there's people out here fighting it. This is one of the disgusting dirtbags right here that wants to stop that bill from happening. You as a parent, you don't have a say, according to her. You shouldn't be able to stop your kid from making a stupid decision. It's not your place as a parent to do that. Let's listen to her.
You have done irreparable harm, and you're doing harm to the body and to Nebraska as well. Don't say hi to me in the hall. Don't ask me how my weekend was. Don't walk by my desk and ask me anything. Don't send me Christmas card. Take me off the list. You don't know me. We have no relationship. And if you don't believe me, if you think I'm going to cool down and change my mind, you should believe me. No one in the world holds a grudge like me. And no one in the world cares less about being petty than me. I don't care. I don't like you. You aren't welcome in my space. You aren't a safe person for my child to be around, or any child, frankly. Don't believe me? You should.
So this disgusting piece of crap for a human being doesn't want you to know what happens to your children at school. She wants all that stuff to be kept secret. She also is for mutilating children, surgically having their genitals removed, and forcing castration drugs down your kid's throat. And when I say forcing, I really mean brainwashing them, convincing them that they are the opposite gender, and then feeding them these drugs. By the way, she doesn't want you to be able to give consent. Doesn't it seem like a planned operation? They first want to remove your say-so in what happens to your kids' lives. They don't want to let you know what's happening, and they want the right to be able to give gender-affirming care. Think about that. Gender-affirming care is what they're calling surgical dismemberment of healthy body parts off of your children. She's willing to work tirelessly in order to get this done. It's almost as if the left and feminists have come together and decided that they should do this. Oh, that's right. They did do that. They have publicly said they were going to do that, and now they're doing it. AOC argues that the Parents' Bill of Rights is fascism. You having knowledge of what your kid's doing in school is fascism to these people. This is what they do, though. They start slinging mud, calling people Nazis, and basically trying to shame people out of doing the right thing. It's absolutely bonkers, but this is the MO, the standard MO of people on the left, because they want to raise your kid. They want to influence the next generation. They have decided the best way to do that, the best way to change society, is to go after the youth. If you can take the youth, brainwash them, you will be building a new civilization without having to worry about any of the nonsense from the previous one. And the way they're going to do that is by removing you as a parent from the equation. So you can't instill any kind of like pesky morals or anything that has to do with being a man or a woman and having traditional roles in life. They want to remove all that from the equation so they can program your children, and they'll grow up into the next generation and be the society that these leftist feminists want. This is the plan. This is the agenda. It's not very hard to see them doing it. This video shows you how brazen these transgenders and LGBTQs have gotten. They are talking about actively abusing their children, brainwashing their children on TV. They don't care anymore. It's like they know that no one's going to do anything about it.
I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. I will be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine?
So if you're still trying to figure out what the hell you just heard, don't worry, I was there too. Apparently this thing right here is talking about inserting a device, forcibly inserting this device into their child, into a gaping wound where their genital used to be. Now, this device is supposed to dilate the wound and keep it open. It's supposed to be a pretend vagina, a fake vagina. And they're supposed to lube that and keep it in there. Otherwise, it closes like a wound normally would. They're talking about this on TV publicly, like, oh yeah, that's what I do. But the most interesting bit, I mean, this is insane, but the most interesting bit is this part. Listen to this.
The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns. So she's saying, make sure to stay on top of it and force them into this new identity. And it's always the women that are doing this to their kids, mostly the single mothers. And whenever you watch these videos, it's almost always a woman that's doing this to their kids. You'll almost never see a man in the picture. If you do, you'll probably see him cowering in the corner somewhere because he's a spineless feminist male. That's what they do. They step out of the picture. They let the women run things. And when that happens, you get things like this.
White people that aren't like serial killers like Ted Bundy.
Does your mom say you have to be LGBT?
No.
No, I think she's what I want to be, but
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking. Say what you're saying.
My mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Because
What are you saying right now?
Facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community.
Yeah. All she cares about is that I'm part of it. She doesn't really care what I am. As long as I'm part of the LGBTQIA community, I'm a weirdo, so she can get some kind of social clout out of it, because think about it. Who pays attention to this thing right here? Just take a look at her. Why is this happening so much these days? I mean, it was never this bad before. Is it a coordinated attack? China using TickTock to do this? I mean, TickTock is really where all of this type of stuff is concentrated. If you go on TickTok, it's out of control. So they're spreading the message on there. Or it may just be the feminists who have decided we're going to use TikTok as the platform because they know children use TikTok, right? Remember, TikTok was for kids. So it would be the smartest place to attack the youth, to attack their brains. I don't know who's behind this. It could be China through TikTok. It could be woke corporations who have already determined that the future is going to be women earning more money than men, and there's going to be plenty of them that are going to be single. So they're going to be aging women with tons of money, and corporations may have already decided, you know what, we need to cater to what they want. And so anything that destroys masculinity, anything that pretty much effeminates men, this is what they're going to be pushing because this is what their demographic wants. So it could be the corporations. And it also could just be the left, feminists, and just angry women who have decided to use TikTok to brainwash your kids. This is a 13-year-old drag queen performing for a bunch of adults, and everyone is cheering him on. It's absolutely insane. And they put this on TikTok. They show it to other kids to try to teach them through social proof, right? Social proof is the concept that if I see a lot of people doing it, then I feel like, oh, it's okay to do this. So I feel like it's normal. That's what they're trying to do with this. Look at those Cheering him on. It's disgusting. This is what they want. I'm guessing that's a boy that they've convinced to do this. That's not hard, right? You can convince a 13-year-old to do this. But what about these adults? What about the people that are actually doing this? The people who are responsible for this? How are they able to just walk around free? Why is this not a crime? Take a look at this TikToker. He says he's, I don't know, gender neutral or gender whatever it is. But he's basically telling kids to message him privately and don't tell your parents about it. Don't trust your parents. And talk to him about your gender transition or any kind of mental issues that you may have. Message him. Don't tell your parents. You can't trust them because they're not going to help you. They're not going to affirm your gender. And remember the Parents' Bill of Rights? Well, the left is trying to stop that. So these type of disgusting pieces of crap for a human being can convince your kids to secretly get puberty blockers without your consent. I myself am concerned. I'm not going to send my kid to public schools. Absolutely not. It's going to be homeschooling. But that's the thing. A lot of people can't do homeschooling, and a lot of people can't afford private schools. So what are they going to do? They have no choice. They have to send their kids to these lunatics that brainwash them. All right, I'm going to cut you loose. But before I do, I want you guys to check out this video. It's high school in the 90s. Kids still had some semblance of innocence left. After this, though, it all started going downhill. Just kids being kids. Nobody worried about what their gender pronouns are. Teachers actually taught stuff that mattered. Math, geography, science, literature. That stuff's gone. Alright guys, if you liked the video, hit the button. You know what to do. Until the next one.